Thank you so much for being here. My name is David, and as always, I'm grateful to share these practices with you. Today's practice is a 45-minute breath meditation where we will be doing what's called Pranayama work. Prana meaning life force or energy, sometimes referred to as the breath. Yama meaning to restrain. And in Pranayama breath work, what we learn to do is work with our breath. And we begin to understand the importance of the breath on a day-to-day basis and how we can use the breath as a tool to help remain a little bit more present. Now, I'm going to share a passage, and it's a little bit of a longer passage, but it'll help to set the tone for our practice today. I realize that for those that are new to doing breath work or to the breath work practice, there is going to be a little bit of a strangeness to the practice. In fact, when I first did breath work, I thought to myself, what the hell is going on here and what are these people doing? So I can understand if there is a little bit of curiosity or perhaps a little bit of guardedness in these practices. Most importantly, I feel it's important to get out of our heads about it and really look at what it is doing at the physiological level of the body. And Dr. Alexander Lowen wrote a book called The Voice of the Body, and I'm taking my time reading through it, but one of the things that I love that he does is he speaks about the breath and the importance of the breath and how it plays into tension. And if we were to ask ourselves honestly, and usually if I was in a class, I'd say raise your hands, but I can't see you. But how many of you out there have chronic tension? How many of you out there have chronic pain? Chronic meaning something that has lasted longer than 6 weeks. It's important for ourselves to be honest about these questions because in truth, if we can't be honest about our own ailments or how we're doing, or if we're just continue to push it off further and further and further, it's only going to come back even stronger for us. So learning techniques that we can use on a regular basis, I'm not saying you have to do breath practices every single day, but it'd be a good habit to just take 5-10 minutes to yourself and just breathe quietly without any distractions. But I'm going to read these excerpts from his book, and please bear with me. I feel it's helpful to hear this, and in future breathwork practices, because I've already stated this stuff, I won't have to go back and touch this stuff. Folks can always go back and listen to it later on. But this is one of his passages. He said, "It is a common belief that we breathe with our lungs alone. But in point of fact, the work of breathing is done by the whole body. The lungs play a passive role in the respiratory process. Their expansion is produced by an enlargement, mostly downward of the thoracic cavity, and they collapse when that cavity is reduced. Proper breathing involves the muscles of the head, the neck, thorax, and abdomen. It can be shown that chronic tension in any part of the body's musculature interferes with the natural respiratory movements." And I'll pause right here. So what he's saying is if there is a link anywhere in our muscular skeletal system that is tense or tight, our bodies are like a huge pulley system. And where there is tension, it's going to create tension all the way down to the central portion of our bodies, which is where we breathe. Learning to relax, learning to breathe, learning to place awareness on areas inside of our body where that tension is going to help us incredibly so in releasing that tension. Breathing is a rhythmic activity. Normally, a person at rest makes approximately 16 to 17 respiratory incursions a minute. The rate is higher in infants and in states of excitation. It is lower in sleep and in depressed persons. The depth of the respiratory wave is another factor which varies with emotional states. Breathing becomes shallow when we are frightened or anxious. It deepens with relaxation, pleasure, and sleep. But above all, it is the quality quality of the respiratory movements that determines whether breathing is pleasurable or not. And so, for instance, when we are constantly putting ourselves in stressful situations, when we are constantly taking in stimulation, whether it be news or TV or anything that is causing us to have an excitation in our respiratory patterns, of course we're going to feel more tense. And so as a practitioner, it is our responsibilities to begin to look at these things that are creating tension for us. Otherwise, we're being irresponsible by walking around in this world, carrying that tension around, and then we impart that stress onto other people, whether we realize it or not. And that is how we truly recognize that we are not separate from one another, that the tension that we carry can be imparted onto somebody else through our speech, through our words, through our actions towards one another. With each breath, a wave can be seen to ascend and descend through the body. The inspiratory wave begins deep in the abdomen with a backward movement of the pelvis. This allows the belly to expand outward. The wave then moves upward as the rest of the body expands. The head moves very slightly forward to suck in the air while the nostrils dilate or the mouth opens. The respiratory wave begins in the upper part of the body and moves downward. The head drops back, the chest and abdomen collapse, and the pelvis rocks forward. Breathing easily and fully is one of the basic pleasures of being alive. And I'm going to pause there again. Many people don't realize what a pleasure it is to actually breathe, to be able to be inside of these bodies, to look outward from them, or to simply close our eyes and just feel the respiratory process happening. Now, of course, if we're stuck in our heads, we're not going to experience that because we're in our heads about it. We're not in touch with our own feelings or the experience of being. But when we step away from the mind for just a little bit, we can begin to experience the pleasure of breathing. Think about the last time, say you went to Yosemite National Park, or you went to the Tetons, or someplace open, and you were able to take that nice, full, deep breath. How did that feel for you? Can you put yourself in those shoes for a moment? In adults, the pleasure is clearly experienced at the end of the expiration when the descending wave fills the pelvis with a delicious sensation. In adults, this sensation has a sexual quality, though it does not induce any genital feeling. The slight backward and forward movements of the pelvis, similar to the sexual movements, add to the pleasure. And I'm going to pause there. You know, sometimes we get caught up in that sex is bad, or sexuality, or even talking about it is a negative. But in truth, it's a part of being human. It's part of the human experience. And when we can learn to connect to our breath, we can see that the movement of breathing is very similar, and this is where we have to actually be present for it. It's actually very similar to the movements that happen in intercourse. Though the rhythm of breathing is pronounced in the pelvic area, it is at the same time experienced by the total body as a feeling of fluidity, softness, lightness, and excitement. The importance of breathing need hardly be stressed. It provides the oxygen for the metabolic processes. Literally, it supports the fires of life. But breath as pneuma, P-N-E-U-M-A, is also the spirit or soul. We live in an ocean of air like fish live in a body of water. Our breathing, we are attuned to our atmosphere. If we inhibit our breathing, we isolate ourselves from the medium in which we exist. In all Oriental mystic philosophies, the breath holds the secret to the highest bliss. That is why breathing is the dominant factor in the practice of yoga. And if you were to speak to somebody in the East and they ask you, well, what is yoga? They would say yoga is meditation and breathing. Okay, it's not necessarily all these movements that we do in a practice. However, these movements that we do in a yoga practice help to open the body up significantly in order for us to breathe even more deeply. You know, if I have chronic tension in my shoulders and I'm not stretching my shoulders out or providing any sort of movement, then all that's going to do is just stay tense in that area. So what we try to practice is opening the body up. We breathe. That breath helps to increase our metabolic processes. Slower, longer breathing is going to induce a more relaxed state. Higher phased, fast breathing is going to create an excited state. We can learn to navigate and maneuver the body a little bit more. So when we have things like restless nights of sleep, when we have things like our heads are full of thoughts, we can start to connect to our breath a little bit more, because at the end of the day, without the breath, there is no life as we know it currently. And so learning to connect to the breath on a regular basis helps us experience life a little bit more fully. And guess what? You're not going to miss out on anything, or at least what you think you may be missing out on. You're actually going to encourage and have a lot more enjoyable time doing. So with that said, let's find a comfortable cross-seated position. And at any point during the practice, if you need to switch your leg crossing, please do so. I advise having a piece of toilet paper or tissue available. And we'll get into our practice. It'll be about, from here moving to 8:45, it'll be about a 33-minute practice or so. Let's place our hands on our knees, palms face down, and close our eyes. Now as we close our eyes, let's first begin by just letting go. Let go of your day. Let go of your week. Let go of what's next and what's to come. All of that will come at its own pace and at its own time. But for now, be here now. Now, without changing the breath or doing anything to the breath, without trying to force the breath, without trying to instigate the breath, just begin to notice your body breathing. As you observe your body breathing, notice the pace and the rhythm. Let this noticing of the breath be effortless. Does the breath feel like it's balanced with the inhales and exhales? Does it feel imbalanced? And let's begin to breathe slowly together. Inhale, please fill your lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, fill the lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. letting it go. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. And inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. Continue breathing on your own. Then just check in with your body. Keep the breath slow, balanced, and even. As you breathe, fill the lungs all the way up to the top. And as you exhale, try to empty the lungs completely. As you check in with your body from your head to your toes, notice how you're feeling. Observe any stress, any tension, tightness, soreness, any imbalances you have within your body. Can you be aware and target those things that may be causing those tensions that are outside of your body? Work, relationships, stress, whatever it is you may be going through in the moment. As we move deeper into our practice, let us continue to focus on the breath to gain more clarity. Let us use the breath as a tool to help us relax and ease any tension or pain or misalignments that are in the body. So easing into our second breath, we will do a 5 count, 6 count, 7 count, 8 count, 7 count, 6 count, 5 count breath. It's an even balanced breath. The inhales will be balanced with the exhales. We'll go from 5 to 8, then 8 to 5 again. On the inhales, we'll turn our palms upwards. On the exhales, we'll turn our palms downwards. Let's begin with a clearing breath. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, let it go. Palms face up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms face down. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Palms face down. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Palms face down. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up. Inhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Palms face down. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up. Inhale, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Palms face down. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up. Inhale, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Palms face down, exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face up, inhale 5, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms face down, exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smooth, deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way up to the top, holding the breath. Sip once, sip twice, sip 3 times. Now hold the breath, lift the chest, shoulders down the back, collarbones spread, relax the forehead, eyes, lips, and mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. And inhale, fill lungs up. And exhale, letting it go. All right, this next breath, we'll do what's called Bhastrika breath, breath of fire, where we breathe in and out through our nose as quickly as we can, like a sniffing dog. It will sound like this. All right, the purpose of this breath in the Hatha yoga practice is to help clear out the nasal cavity. You will blow some snot out your nose. That's okay. The tissue is there in case you need to wipe afterwards. Now, as we do this, we'll do 30 seconds, and then at the end of that 30 seconds, I'll ask us to engage our bodies. I'll say, take a full breath in, fill your lungs up, sip once, twice, 3 times. Lengthen your spine, pull the belly in, spread through collarbone, shoulders down the back. We'll retain the breath. As we retain the breath, you may experience new sensations. That's okay. Allow those sensations to arise. Continue to hold the breath. And at the count of 5, we'll exhale. Let's begin. 30 seconds. First, taking a clearing breath. Inhale, fill lungs all the way up. Exhale, letting it go. Breathing in halfway. Seal the lips. Begin. Exhale. Inhale, fill your lungs all the way up to the top. Hold the breath. Sip once, sip twice, sip 3 times. Now hold it, long spine, pull the belly in, spread through collarbone, shoulders down the back, draw the chin in, relax the face, lips, eyes, mouth, and forehead. Hold your breath at the top of the inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, letting it go. Take a pause, 30 seconds, refractory period. Now again, you may feel a little lightheaded, you may feel some new sensations, all of which are normal in these practices. You may feel your body heating up. In 15 seconds, we'll begin our 45-second breath round. Make sure you are engaging your core muscles, really pumping the belly in and out as you breathe. Let's begin. Please take a full breath in, fill your lungs all the way up. Exhale out all the air. Breathing in halfway, seal the lips. 45 seconds begins now. Exhale out all the air. Now inhale, fill the lungs all the way up to the top. Hold the breath. Sip once, sip twice, sip 3 times. Now hold the breath. Long spine, belly pulls in, spread through collarbone, shoulders down the back, chin draws in, relax the face, eyes, lips, and mouth, and jaw. Holding the breath still. Keep holding for 5. Stay with the sensations. 4. Continue to stay tall, stay strong. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, letting it go. Refractory period, 30 seconds. Let the breath come back normally on its own. Again, you may feel a little bit lightheaded. You're probably feeling your body warming up a little bit. These are all natural responses to the breath practice. If you need to wipe your nose, clear the nose out. And preparing for our full minute round, let's begin. Please take a full breath in, fill lungs all the way up. Exhale out all the air. Breathing in halfway, seal the lips. 1 minute begins. Stronger. Exhale it all the way. Inhale, fill your lungs all the way up the top. Now hold the breath. Sip once, sip twice, sip 3 times. Hold it, lengthen the spine, belly pulls in, collarbone spread, shoulders down the back, draw the chin in, relax the face, lips, eyes, mouth, and forehead, holding the breath at the top still, roll the eyes up for 5, keep holding. How still can you be? 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, letting it go. Refractory period, taking about 30 seconds. Just breathe on your own. our next breath, just clearing out the nasal cavities a little bit more, we're going to do nostril breathing. So we're going to take our index finger, middle finger of our left hand, and we're just going to place it on the third eye, if you will, or area between the eyebrows. You're going to take your thumb, and you're going to take the thumb and lightly press it against your left nostril. You'll take your right index finger, your right left ring finger and pinky finger, and that'll be on the other side by the right nostril. And all we're going to do is go back and forth using your thumb to plug your left nostril, and then breathing out through the right nostril. Then we'll breathe in through the right nostril, and then close it off, breathe out through the left nostril. So all we're doing is alternating back and forth with our left thumb and our left ring finger, pinky finger. Placing your middle finger and index fingers on the forehead, use your thumb to plug the left nostril. Now we're going to breathe in through our right nostril. Sit tall, seal the lips, and let's begin. Inhale through the right nostril. Seal the right nostril off. Exhale out your left nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril. Seal it off. Exhale out your right nostril. Inhaling through your right nostril. Seal it off. Exhale out the left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Seal it off. Exhaling out your right nostril. Inhaling through your right nostril. Seal it off. Exhale out the left nostril. And inhale through your left nostril. Seal it off. Exhale out the right nostril. And gently lower your left hand down. Please take a long, slow, deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way up. Sit once, sit twice, sit 3 times. Now hold it, pull the belly in, front ribs in, shoulders down the back, collarbones spread, reach the crown of the head upwards, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, letting it go. Deep breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Switch the crossing of the legs, other shin on top. Now, for that breath, every 90 minutes or so, our bodies change nostrils in which we breathe. And you'll notice through that exercise that one of your nostrils was maybe a little bit more clogged than the other. Just wait for a little bit. I don't know what the timing is for your particular cycle, but check in 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 20 minutes, notice how you will be breathing through the other side. Part of this is for the body's natural rhythm. It's part of its intrinsic rhythm that it has, but also for different reparation, for allowed drainage to happen, things like that. Your body has a natural process like these in any area of the body. So start to take more notice of where your body's feeling maybe imbalanced or balanced. You'll also notice when you do those breathing holding exercises, what we're trying to do is create this chamber of the body where we engage all the muscles at once. When we engage all the muscles at once, we can start to strengthen the rigidity of the body a little bit more. Specifically, we can start to strengthen our back muscles by maintaining that length in our spine. All right, so going on to our next breath exercise. Our next breath exercise, hands will be on the knees, palms face down. Now we're going to go for a minute. It's going to be in through the nose. We'll lift up, exhale out the mouth, round the spine. So it's an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We're going to go quickly with the breath. Once again, we'll go for a minute, and then we'll do that breath holding exercise at the end. Let's begin. Hands on the knees, palms face down. Please take a full breath in first. Exhale, let it go. 1 minute begins. Exhale. On an inhale, fill your lungs all the way up to the top, holding the breath. Sit once, sit twice, sit 3 times. Now hold the breath, long spine, pull the belly in, spread through your collarbone, shoulders down the back, reach the crown of the head upwards, relax the face, eyes, lips, mouth, and forehead, lift your pelvic floor, hold here. Exhale, letting it go. Refractory period, 30 seconds, breathing on your own. Notice what that breath incited in your body. Now for our next breath, another dynamic breath. We'll go for 1 minute. It's a double inhale, strong exhale. So it's engaging our core muscles, and it's all done through the mouth. We'll do that breath holding exercise at the end, this time like we did last time in silence. But what it will sound like and look like is this. And so we're really, if you watch my core muscles, it's really tensing and tightening up the core to push the air out. This will be our last breath exercise before we come into just a couple minutes of meditation, and then we'll finish off our practice. Let's begin. 1 minute. Please take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. 1 minute begins. Exhale. And on an inhale, fill your lungs all the way up to the top, holding the breath. Sipping once, sipping twice, sipping 3 times. Pause here, long spine, lift your pelvic floor, belly in, long spine, spread through collarbone, shoulders down the back, relax the face, lips, eyes, mouth, and forehead. Hold your breath at the top, holding the breath in silence. Exhale, letting it go. Feel your body. Feel your heartbeat. Turn the palms face up. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. On the inhale, reach your arms upwards. Exhale, draw the hands down. On the inhale, reach your arms up. Palms together, draw the hands down. And inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, drawing your hands down. And placing the hands over your heart, shoulders down the back. Just honoring yourself today, your practice for showing up on your mats, honoring yourself if it's your first time or first few times, just to something new and to be open. Recognizing that the breath is life, that the breath itself helped to create the life that you are currently at right now. That the breath is transformative in many ways when we learn to connect to it. Deep breath in, fill lungs up. And on the exhale, bowing our head down towards our hands. Honoring ourselves today, our practices for showing up on our mats. We honor our friends, families, loved ones, and supporters, and in gratitude to the many teachers and guides who came long before us who passed along these practices we call Pranayama, breathing, breath meditation. Releasing the hands down, opening the eyes, and lifting your chins. Thank you so much, everybody, for practicing with me today. I appreciate it. I'm considering doing about a 2-hour workshop on this, so if that's something you're interested in, I'm thinking about maybe in a couple Sundays from now, coordinating that. If you'd like to do that, that will be on a Zoom call, and I'll make an announcement for that, but feel free to join on that call, and if you have any questions at all about these practices, please reach out. I look forward to either seeing you online or in person at outdoor practices. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Ho'oponopono. Aho. Namaste, friends.